Looking at the way that photography documents so much of basketball culture and basketball history, it's often presented in magazine form, Slam magazine, things like that, or it's presented in books. And so we wanted to give youth the opportunity to have their work printed in a book, but not just to be in a book. What is the process of learning how to create a photo book? My name is Chris Penrose, and I'm the Executive Director of Layup.
We don't take for granted being able to bring this community together.
Layup is focused on the future of access to basketball. So we believe basketball can be the most accessible sport, but there are a lot of barriers to access that people face from learning how to play the game, getting opportunities to get on the game, and then off the court as well. There's many opportunities. So we provide cost-free programs across Toronto to youth on the court, off the court, as well as youth coach development. That is something that a lot of people are not necessarily aware of, that basketball is way harder to access and way more expensive to access than we realize. Who we had as photographers that were the mentors really made the entire process so inviting. There was a lot of learning that happened, seeing a young person kind of maybe drifting to the periphery because they didn't really understand what was going on in that moment, and that mentor photographer who's really talented and knows how to get the job done, but observing that and finding ways to bring them back in, or setting things up in a teaching way where when the youth are clicking that button, it's not just a click of a button. They understand the whole process of the lighting and everything that was set up. So I saw that growth happening along the way.
It's just this hard.
If you see some of the photos from assignment 1 all the way up to seeing the photo book, night and day. Even though like in the first week there was still like, I was shocked by like, this is the first time they're using the camera, and seeing the results and like not knowing like, oh, like what settings to use and all that, and just using their vision, and then that transferring into the final photo day and the final kind of culmination of that and the book that came out. It brought joy to me because it taught me like, oh, like sometimes, when you're in the profession, you're in the weeds of like the day-to-day and all that kind of stuff, and you ask yourself like, why do you do what you do? And mentorship is like a big thing that I discovered that I can do. I'm self-taught myself, so I never had a mentor or people like that in my life. So to be able to provide that to the upcoming generation really meant a lot to me.
I really like this project too.
I was like a bridge between the participants and the mentors. I thought the whole process was so magical to be in like a virtual place and learn about photography and like the process of creating a photo book. And then from there, having a photo walk and having a physical experience. And then after that, having a physical book and seeing our work within the book was just an amazing process. And I think my favorite part throughout was just connecting with the participants and connecting with the mentors and learning about their process in photography and just their journeys as a whole, and how it like connects to my journey as a photographer as well. Layup to me is very important because everything that Layup does caters to the youth who don't have the access to basketball. And growing up as a kid, I didn't get to play on like a big team or any rep teams in general. So it's nice that I could play a part in coaching and teaching photography for the youth and give that experience I didn't get to have growing up. And so Layup is very important to me, and like created like this family sense to me now.
It was very exciting. Probably learning how to actually use the camera in the field, getting some practice, learning, making mistakes, trying new things, all of that. I started the basketball program when I was 10 actually, and it like taught me my first skills and like how to shoot a layup. And like I've gotten better over the years. I've gotten so many different opportunities, whether it was like the photography program or like playing with other like team members. And like it's definitely improved me as a person.
What do you hope people think about or talk about after they've flipped through the book?
The book is designed to go chronologically, start to finish in 20 minutes. You can read the thought behind each segment, and what I think that people can take away from it is the process of making something is so rewarding.